In this video, I want to show you very instructive games which were played in classical system. The game number one, which I want to show you, was played between Vadim Faibisovich and Karasев Vladimir. The game was played between two strong Soviet masters in the very many years ago in 1977. E4, G6, D4, bishop G7, knight to C3, D6, knight to F3, and here knight to F6. Bishop to E2, short castle, and bishop G4 was played in the game. Bishop to E3, white preferred, knight to C6, and queen to D2. E5 was played in the game, D take, D5, knight to E7. Rook A to D1 was played in the game. Okay, the main position of the classical system. The strongest continuation here is bishop to d7, but white, black preferred another continuation, knight to d7. Okay, it looks very logical. The idea, black's idea, is to give up this bishop with bishop and then to play f5. But I think this is a dubious solution, and the point that after knight to e1, take, f5, f3. The main plan in this type of positions for black is to play f4, but without light square bishop and then g5. This is very difficult for black to organize a strong attack on the king side. Okay, for this reason, I think that better choice here is king to h7, intending to play knight to g8 and then bishop to h6. But in the game, white preferred f4 instead of f3. So the same idea we saw in the game of the Hilltau after bishop to d7, knight to e1, take, and then f4. But in this concrete position, this is a very bad idea because instead of bishop on d7, black has a knight on d7. And this difference, this is the main difference between these two positions. So in the game of FM Geller, black had a bishop, but here black has a knight. And this favors black side because after e takes e4, bishop takes e4, yeah. Black control this square, very important. And also black has a very strong continuation here. Bishop takes c3, b takes c3, f takes c4, queen takes c4. Okay, and at first glance it looks like terrible decision because after bishop c3, black's king is so this trading weakening the black's king. So we see this okay dark squares, very weak dark squares in the black's position. But okay, take. But black's but white's problem that black has a concrete moves. Okay, knight to c5. So with this move, black won very important tempo. Queen to c4. Better was queen to e2, queen to c4, and after, or maybe queen to d4 was the strongest continuation. But even here, after knight to e5, queen to d2, queen to d7, knight to 3, black has a very comfortable game. But after queen to c4, queen to d7, so we see that it is very difficult for black here to organize. No, not for black. For white, it is very difficult for white here to organize attack on the king side. For example, bishop to h6, rook takes, queen takes, knight to 5, bishop to 5, rook to 8, knight to f3, queen to 4, for example. Okay, black's king is weak, but to organize attack, this is it's very difficult because black's pieces are very well placed and black's pieces are very well coordinated. Queen to d7, knight to d3. But here, after queen to e4, it was played in the game. White has to exchange these queens, and in the end game, white has a terrible position, and black has a big positional advantage due to the weaknesses on the queen side. So this doubled pawn, and this pawn is isolated. Okay, the end game is difficult for black, for white, sorry, c4, knight to e5. Okay, even stronger was rook a to e8. It was played in the game of, and knight to e5. It was played in the game of F.M. Geller and Gennady Kuzmin. Knight to c3, and rook takes, take g4, knight to d4. And black has a big advantage. But in this game was played knight to e4, g4, knight to d4, bishop to h6, rook takes, knight to c2, rook to d2, knight to d4, bishop to h3, c5, rook to f6. And here black has to play rook to d8 with a big advantage, but black preferred b5, and after rook to d6, knight to b6, bishop to d4, knight to c4, bishop take, knight to d6. So we receive the position in which rook to d8, okay, and black has a rook and pawn against bishop and knight. And usually computers engine prefers rook and pawn, but okay, but it's not clear. It's not clear. But in this specific position, black is better, and for white it's quite unpleasant position because white has to suffer for a draw. And in the game, for black, it is much easier to play. The king is yes. Okay, and finally, I think it's very difficult to yes, and finally, this pawn is uh, pawn fall down, and white has to resign. Okay, sorry, and white resign. So from this game, we have to note this beautiful positional idea, bishop to c3. Of course, usually this is in most of the cases this is a not good idea because this weakening on the king. But in this situation, this is a wonderful idea. The second game which I want to show you was played between uh, Henry and Hui Karsten in I think it was in Denmark or this side. Okay, but okay, also very many years ago in 1979. And in this position, instead of knight to e1, white preferred knight to g5. Bishop takes, queen to 2, h6, knight to h3, king to h7. Knight to g5, knight to h3. Okay, it seems very strange at first glance, but okay, but it is normal. It is not bad. Of course, white's idea is to play f3, then knight to f2, and in this case, white is slightly better, and it is not bad idea. I think that this knight to g5 is um, it is not worse than knight to e1. Queen to g8 was played in the game. Okay, also not a bad solution, but the idea behind of this move is W's. Okay, knight to g8 was played in the game, and now f4. Yes, and this idea to play f4 in such type of positions is a W's decision. So the problem that uh, after this move, this bishop is very strong. Also, this pawn exchange frees the e5 square, and now this is a very good square for the knight d7. And I think that here black already is slightly better. And for white, it's quite difficult to find the right plan and to improve the position. Also, this pawn is weak. Okay, in the game was played knight g to f6, queen to e2, queen to e7, bishop to d4, knight to e5. Okay, h3, and now black has a clear plan to attack on the queen side. Okay, a6, rook f1, rook a8, queen f2, b5. Okay, black consolidates the position of his pieces, and now start the plan with the play on the queen side. a3 was played in the game, knight to d7, b3, rook to b8, intending to play a5 and then b4 or a4, knight c2 e2, a5. Yes, and for white, it is quite difficult to find the right plan. Knight to d3 was played in the game, but here white has a good idea to play bishop to e1. With the intention to play knight to d4, to occupy this square with knight, and to take under control c6 square. So this knight on d4 is a very good piece. Okay, but white in the game, white missed this possibility, and after knight to d3, a4 was played in the game. I think this is a good idea. So now for white it's not easy what to do, because after before the square is weak, and if white ignores and to play some for example c1 into h1, for example, after this pawn is very weak. Okay, according to engine evaluation, the position is still reflect wall, but it's easy for black to play this position. And okay, before was played in the game, now this square is black has a very good square for his knights. f5. I'm not sure about this move. I think that knight to c4 was better. Black has a positional advantage. Then the game was played 5, e takes e5, rook takes e5. This is a mistake. Better was knight to e5. Bishop to e5. Bishop takes, knight takes. And queen to g3. And the position is equal. Okay, white white captures on f5, rook to e5, queen to e3, and after queen to h4, position is unpleasant for white. So there is a threat, knight to c4. Okay, it's not easy, and white lost this position in two moves. So first, this was a mistake, of course, because this bishop is very strong. This is a Davis decision, and here the second. But now terrible blunder, queen to g3, because after knight to f3, g takes f3. The only move is g take f3 after g takes f3, rook to g5. The queen is pinned, and white has to resign. Okay, in the game, white preferred king to h1, but after take, knight to e1, rook to e1, rook to d5. Okay, black has totally winning position. Black has a pawn up and equality. And okay, now this pawn. And white resigned. Okay, also very instructive game. Note that f5 in such type of structures with this knight on d7, f5, f4 is a W's idea, and with black we wait for this move. Okay, and the second game which I want to show you was played also many years ago between Maximovich Branimir and Yansa Vlastimil. Yansa Vlastimil is an old grandmaster from Czech Republic. And in this position, Vlastimil Yansa played king to h8. Also, I think that king to h8 this is better than knight to d7. Okay, king to h8, h3, bishop takes, knight to d7, bishop to e2, d6. Okay, and now we achieve the position. So white has a bishop pair, but the position is locked, and it's not easy to exploit this bishop pair advantage for white. And I think okay, but in the game was played g3, and again this the idea to play 4. This is a W's idea once again. Better was f3, and even without bishop pair. But okay, but I understand white's. I understand white's player, because um, white supposed that with bishop pair advantage, it is white needs to open the position. White needs to open the position, and okay, this is very logical. But in this specific position, this is a W's decision. Okay, knight to g8, very good move. I think very good. So waiting move, and after f4, takes. Yes, f5, also good idea. Bishop to d4, the second W's decision, because this trading favors black side. Okay, better was e takes f5, and here g takes f5 and king to h2. And white is better here, rook to g1, and I'm not sure. I think that this bishop is not. So this bishop is vulnerable for white rooks. Okay, bishop d4, but here queen to f6 was played in the game. Take. Even better was queen to h4. Yeah, sorry, this is very bad. Queen to g3, and then queen to h3. Okay, queen to f6, 6, e takes f5, g takes f5, bishop to f3, rook a e8, rook d to e1, knight to c5, king to f2. Okay, the position according to computer, the position is equal, but from my point of view, black is better and it is much easier, and only black play for a draw. The point that this bishop is is not a good piece for white, and so it is easy to play with knights here. Okay, b5, yeah, the idea, a3, knight to e4. I'm not sure, I'm not sure, but okay, but even computer prefer this move. King to e3, knight to h5, knight to e2 was played in the game, and this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Rook to f2 was the strongest continuation. Yeah, the point that after rook to f5, there is rook to g1, there is rook to g5. And now it is white who has a big advantage here. Take, and this pawn is very weak. Okay, and rook to f7. But in the game was played knight to e2, rook to f5. The pawn is hanging at rook to d1, knight to f6, knight to c3, and now rook to h5. Okay, white has two weaknesses. Very bad news for white. So this and this. Okay, rook to h1 was played in the game. Rook to g8, and now it's very unpleasant. Rook to g3 threat. Rook to d4, rook to g3, king to e2, and rook to g2 check, king to d1, rook to f2. Okay, and this terrible position for white. Knight to e4. Okay, and this is a decision blunder. Rook to f4. So knight to f6, rook to d4 check, king to c1, rook to e5, knight to g4, h5, knight to e3, rook to f3. Okay, and white is totally losing and no chance. And the last game which I want to show you, so very famous game was played between Anatoly Karpov and Zurab Ismail-Parashvili. It was in 1983, and Anatoly Karpov was the strongest player in the world at this time, but Zurab Ismail-Parashvili was talented young Soviet master, and white lost, Anatoly Karpov lost. Okay, b5 was played in this game. Very logical continuation, but objectively speaking, this is not the best continuation, and this is a dubious decision. But the problem that the strongest continuation here, bishop to b5, but after bishop to f3, g takes f3, knight to h5. Yes, according to computer, there is not enough compensation for the pawn, and white has a clear advantage. But from human point of view, the position is unbalanced. White's king is very weak, this square, and okay, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and this is not in the style of Anatoly Karpov, such type of position. And for this reason, Anatoly Karpov refused this sacrifice. and preferred solid move a3, preventing before a5, and now b4. Once again, after bishop to b5, the strongest continuation, bishop takes. Okay, black has a black has some compensation, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and white is better. Before was played in the game, a takes before, a takes. So, okay, before this is Anatoly Karpov style. And now rook a3. The second unpleasant move for white. Black's idea is to sacrifice the quality with rook to c3. For example, yes, it was played in the game, bishop to g5, rook to c3. And now queen to c3. This is a, yeah, bad idea, because after, okay, not bad idea, this is the most logical move, but after queen to d3, knight to g5, knight takes, bishop to d7, black has a very strong compensation. For example, this a5, knight to c3, a4, yes, and queen to b8, and this bishop is extremely strong. Black has a strong center, okay, and black has enough compensation. Anatoly Karpov didn't accept this option, didn't accept this sacrifice, and preferred bishop to f6. Rook to a3 was bishop to f3 was played in the game. Bishop takes, rook to a3. And now, according to computer, the strongest was bishop to h4, and okay, queen to d7, yeah, and bishop to e2. Yes, improving this bishop, because okay, but white is slightly better, but I'm not sure about this, because black has a black control this very important a file, and yeah, but okay, but even this, I think, okay, black has enough. From my point of view, the position is roughly balanced, and okay, yes, and bishop to g7. This is a mistake, of course. This queen to rook e1, queen to e3, and now black is slightly better, and only black has chances to play for win. The position, this is a, from psychological point of view, this is an unpleasant situation for world champion. And okay, bishop to e2, queen to b2, but even here the position is equal, but only black fight for the um, advantage. Rook to d1 was played in the game, not bad. F5, e takes e5, knight e5. Okay, the position is better. Black has a positional advantage because this queen is very active. Black control a file. Also, the knight is potentially much stronger than light square bishop. But the main problem that this pawn is very weak, and for this reason, according to computer, the position is equal. But okay, but for computer this is equal, but for human this is unpleasant position, and world champion And Anatoly Karpov made a terrible blunder: c4, c3, queen to d2, rook to d2, rook e8. Now the position is very unpleasant for white. The point that after bishop to b5, the most logical continuation, rook to a3. And there is no c4 because of rook e1 checkmate. And after rook to c2, it was played in the game, knight to e7. Bishop to c4, okay, it's, or maybe, sorry, yes, once again, knight to d4, and there is no bishop to d5 because of rook to e1 checkmate. Okay, after this pawn, it is a big problem how to protect the pawn on c3, and also this pawn is weak. So, terrible position for white. f4 was played in the game, and bishop to c6. And this is a last mistake. This is a last mistake. The bishop on c6 is out of play, and better was c4 with some chances for a draw. But okay, after this, knight to e5, king to f2, knight to e3. The knight is very strong on e3. Rook to c1. The king is the king on e5, and okay, and look on the position of black's pieces. This king is very strong. The knight on e3 is very strong. The rook, all black's pieces are much stronger than white's pieces. g5, take, and knight to d5. At first glance, it looks very strange because the rook in game. But okay, but this specific rook in game is totally losing for black, and so it's totally losing for white. And after the following moves, white resigned because after, for example, king to d3, okay, this, then h6, king to c5, rook to h8, rook to h3, king to d2, king to c4. c5, and white has to, white resigned, of course, right? Not, okay, and black is winning.